So welcome everybody. We're going to be doing a lesson that is a chipmunk warm-up, and it's coming from the chipmunk series here. And you're going to need a rock today. If you don't have a rock, you can use your fingertips, but it's so much better with a rock. And I prefer a smoothish rock, not too big for this lesson. So we're going to start as we always do. Just rub your hands, warm your hands, sit flat on a chair. But I want to say you could do this in bed. You could do this lying down in bed. And we're going to do the first part seated, and then we're going to lie down and do it. So you get kind of a two-part lesson today. So just warm your hands. You'll see chipmunks and squirrels working a lot with rubbing their hands. Not working, but this is they are using their fingers a lot. And then let's just stroke your head a little bit, just to connect. So this hand-head connection, so important with working with the shoulders, with relaxing. And as humans, these are really important areas for us as well. So just a quick stroking, just to connect. Sometimes I'll do this when I'm in bed, just as a way of waking up. All right, and we're gonna go straight to working with the rock. So take your rock in your hand, and I'm going to use my right hand, but you can switch it. You can have your left hand if you're dominant with your left hand. And if you want to switch the other way, you can. But it's we're going to just take the rock and begin to trace the rock around the face, like an artist is making the circle around the face on a piece of paper. And you can move your head a little bit as well. So you're just lightly stroking around the perimeter of your face. Yeah. And then reverse. And just let your elbows hang so that your shoulders aren't doing much here. It's mostly your head and neck and a little bit moving your hands. Now it should feel nice. Breathing. And then let's go around the cheek. Okay, so around the cheek, under the nose. So it's this lower cheek and then above the jawline. So right above your chin and over to your ear and then under the cheek. So you get that part of your skull. Yeah, and then reverse. So from the top of the chin, around the bones, and then under the cheek, under the nose. Should feel kind of relaxing. Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to tie my hair back. So if you have long hair, you might want to tie it back for this, because you're going to be working with other parts of your head. Okay, so now I'm going to go under your chin, and just coming around to the ear and then to the neck and then down your neck and to the collarbones. Yeah, the collarbones, and then coming around and then up the side of the neck, under your ear and under the chin. So you're going to kind of draw this line. And for a lot of people, this area, if you've had any kind of neck injury or emotional stuff going on, wow, this is helpful. And it's so easy. It's so easy. You're kind of outlining this region from under the chin, under the ear, down the side, and then let's reverse. So you're going under the chin and really relax your elbows. Relax as much as you can and go slowly. We don't want to hurry this area. Yeah. All right. And now take the rock behind your ear on, I'm on my right side, but you can mirror this on your left. It doesn't matter. But now take the hand of the other hand. So I have my left hand. And if you can, bring it so it's just lightly touching over your head. So take your elbow on top of your head. And I've got hair here, but you're going to stroke under the skull, just back and forth under the skull. And then if you can, stroke a little down your back across the vertebrae and then up to the other ear. So you're getting the back quadrant. And if that's difficult, I want you to bend forward a little bit with your head And just see if that's possible to round your back a little bit, to reach the rock behind you, to stroke and let your elbows move. And then reverse. Yeah. Good. And then let's rest for a moment. Shrug your shoulders a little bit, round them, bring your arms down. Yeah. Okay. So now let's put the rock down and stroke your head now. Now we could do more in seated here, but I'd love to take this down to the floor. But if you would like, you can apply what we're doing on the floor to seated, and we're going to head down to the floor. And if you can't get to the floor, just do this on your bed. You can even do it on the couch if you have a wide enough couch, but the floor is nice because it's firm. But you can totally do this in the bed. Okay, so let's go ahead. So you're going to lie on the floor with your knees bent and have your rock handy. And we're just going to take the rock with both hands. And if you want, you could even switch hands so the other one's holding it. It's fine to experiment with that. And then just let's go ahead and now move the rock around the face like we did in the beginning. So you're outlining the entire face from ear hole, in front of the ear hole, around the hairline, on the top side of the jawbone, and chin. Yeah, and then reverse. Yeah. Now, there's so many different ways to do this movement, right? So if you were to bring the stone to the top of your chin for a minute, and then just roll your head instead of moving your hands so much, roll your head. And you gotta be careful. Try not to lift it too much. You can slide it on the floor. And of course, you might move your hands a little bit, but try to make the movement by rolling your head instead of moving your hands so much. It's an interesting movement. And then let's make that smaller movement around the cheeks, under the nose. And again, roll your head. If you're a man and you shave, this is kind of a fun thing you can play with shaving, but play a little bit with the stone, relax your elbows, and then reverse the direction. Try to really let the weight of your head rest on the floor as you're rolling it. Yeah. And then let's rest. Put the rock down. If you'd like, you can slide your legs long. And then let's roll your head side to side. And feel the contact, and then leave it and just rest for a moment. And animals in general, they use their heads so much more actively than we seem to, at least from my observations. They're pushing their heads against things, and as the chipmunk, is constantly chewing and, removing dirt from their dens, and, really moving their heads a lot more actively. Let's bend your knees, stand your feet. And the flexibility of moving like that with your head, it really helps your shoulders. So this whole series is very different than my squirrel series. All right, we're doing a lot more subtle things with your head and face. So bring the stone back toward your chin and under your chin now. And let's work under the chin and roll your head. So you're working under the chin, sliding the stone to the ear, and then roll your head the other way to slide the stone toward the other ear. And here, when you come down your neck, don't lift your head, just move the stone to the collarbone. So you do that with your arms. So you're not moving your body so much right now, but moving your arms. sliding up the side of your neck, and then slide under the jaw. And now roll your chin to bring the stone back to the middle. All right. And now continue to roll your head. So you bring the stone toward one ear, and then take your other hand and reach behind your head, behind your neck. So you're holding the rock from the back with both hands, and then just slide the rock from one back of the ear area across to the other. And you have to lift your head just a little bit, but just find how to make that movement of sliding the rock from one ear toward the other. Yeah. And now we didn't do this in seated, but just slide the rock from the back of your head up toward the top of your head. And I've got this pile of hair that I have to move out of the way to do this, but just sliding the rock from the back of your head to your forehead. So you feel at what point you have to lift your head just a tiny bit to make that movement. And then just slide the rock on the right side of your head of the hair, yeah, around the ear. So you just move your head to feel the rock on the right side of your head. And then let's go over the top of your head to the left side. So you're moving the rock by moving your head, yeah, so that your head is turning and the rock is touching the skull, sliding on your skull. Should feel interesting. And leave your head so it's resting on the floor as you do this, and just easy. There's a point where the weight of your head is resting on the floor. Leave that resting so you're not having to lift your head as you're moving the rock. You go from side to side now over the top of the head. And now please rest, bring the rock down. You can stroke your head a little bit, smooth out your hair, and rest now. Rest your arms, rest your legs if you like. And feel the contact. Roll your head now on the floor. And just see how it feels to roll your head on the floor. All right. Now we could go on and on in this, but if you were in your bed in the morning and you want to just do a little warm up to connect your hands, your head, your face, you can do this lesson, right, with the rock, but you could also do it on your side. So just for a moment to play with this position on your side. We're not going to do the whole lesson, but just play a little bit with moving the rock and rolling your head and just feeling the contact of your face right now. Yeah, you can do it on your side, and then you can go under the chin from ear to ear and down the collarbones here, just to feel what it might feel like on your side. And then take the rock behind your head and with both hands behind your head and roll your head here, moving your head with the rock behind your head, and just feeling that movement and where you can roll your head, where the rock can go, and maybe now take the rock on top of your head, your hands more in front of you, right? And then please lie on your back. I'm just going to do that on one side. Of course, you could do the second side, but just to get the idea. And breathing now. Roll your head. Feel the difference in your neck now as you roll your head. And this is where, if you're on the firm floor, you'll really feel a difference in the way your neck and head are moving, and the way your shoulders contact the floor, the way your arms rest into the floor. But if you're in your bed, it's the same feeling. You feel yourself sinking in easier. It's wonderful. You can do this even before you sleep, yeah? Okay, now let's roll to your side, and we're going to come up and sit. And it's probably easier if you sit in the chair. So let's slowly come up to standing. and then find your chair, and we'll continue just the last bit. Okay, so now in the chair, take the rock on your forehead and just bring it up to the top of your head now and down. So you just feel this movement of rounding your spine forward when the rock is on your forehead. And then as you come back, extend out. So your head can come back, your elbows can come back, and there's this rounding, you sliding the rock. And then as you come up, yeah, with the rock now behind your head, you can just play with turning your head a little side to side. And I could move my arms to do that, or I could roll my head. So lots of different ways to play with this movement with the rock behind your head. And of course, this can make it easier to do simple day-to-day things, whether it's putting a shirt on or washing your hair or anything with your arms overhead. But play a little bit now with your head and the rock moving in a circle. Yeah. And then bend forward and do it with yourself a little bit more rounded in your back. And then come back a little bit with your back extended. Yeah. And then let's rest. Bring your arms down. Okay. You can stroke your hair if it's all messed up like mine. All right. So that's it. That's our little chipmunk warm up, and really awakens the whole upper chest and neck, and very healing for your neck. So thanks so much for joining me with this. And I appreciate your comments after this lesson. So thank you.